Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, as you can see on the 4 hour, a nice bounce off the 4 hour 9 at our support level. And that bounce basically took us to our resistance level, so where we are currently sat. So yeah, just this is what I said in yesterday morning's video. For me, was the likely scenario was we're just going to stay trade sideways in this range for a little bit, and then eventually make a decision on where to go. But for the time being, staying in this range seemed like the more likely option. So yeah, bouncing from top to bottom. Nice range to trade there. Nice trades to take. Short at the top of the range with tight stops, long at the bottom of the range with tight stops. Obviously, it is the weekend now, so I will revert to my usual weekend commentary of expecting just ranging price action. So yeah, we are at the top of this range. So could we see a? I'm just trying to extend this line, and I seem to be yeah, can we expect to break above here, a liquidity hunt above this range, and then before the CME is open and traditional markets open back up on Sunday evening, while the futures on traditional markets open, are we then going to come back into this range? Possibly, we could possibly see that, or we could just simply see a rejection of this range, and then well, the midpoint of the range is actually looks like quite an important level in itself. I don't like to put too much stuff on my charts, but this is pretty much an important level. But then I do always say this: the midpoint of a range, when you have a range, the midpoint is just a level where you often can get bounces and bounces from, rejections from. So yeah, we'll leave that on there. So what could we expect? Could we expect to pull back down to the mid level and then bounce back up? Yeah, potentially. Could we expect to break down all the way to the bottom of the range again? A bounce, a rejection from the middle of the range, and then further downside. Yeah, that would look all look normal in price action. But realistically, as far as I'm concerned, it is the weekend, and I'm not really expecting any big breakout moves from these ranges. And if we do get any big breakout moves from these ranges, what I would expect is for it to pretty much come back to this range, to come back to within this range when the CME's open, basically. So yeah, that is what I'm looking at. Let's have a look at how some of those traditional markets closed this week. So yeah, not a bad close at all for the S&P, not a bad close at all. Yeah, I mean, now we have basically popped out above this range, come back in. You kind of would expect a move all the way down to the bottom of the range, which could actually be even as low as down here as well. But if we are going to get supported at this high support level and bounce back up, we've got a chance of breaking back above this trend line and this horizontal. We have already had the breakdown and the back test and the breakdown again. So if we do come back up again, it wouldn't be a back test. It would be a right. We're back here again, guys. So it looks like we're not going down, and then we can potentially break through and move back to the upside. And Nasdaq as well. We don't chart the Nasdaq as much, but I mean, you can see it's still pretty much size highs holding up there. Not a bad close for the Nasdaq. If we drew in a horizontal here, which we actually will do, we'll draw in a horizontal here. It looks quite significant. Yeah, we are obviously holding that level there. So yeah, that is looks good for the Nasdaq. We could probably actually draw a zone on the Nasdaq. A zone. Do we want to? Yeah, we will do. We do kind of neglect our Nasdaq charting because I don't tend to chart it that much. But if we just put one of our boxes in, if I can do this real quick, if I can't, I'll just do this another time. It's not the text one, is it? It'll be a square on this, well, the rectangle, sorry, not the square. So yeah, that'll do. That will do. Obviously the top is a bit is not quite on the line. There we go. Sorted. So yeah, we sort of got this level in the Nasdaq. break above here, this should hopefully turn into support for, well, hopefully for your Nasdaq bulls. For all you doom and gloomers out there, you'll obviously want this to break below and be resistance, but hey, that's not good for anybody. DXY still looking very much like a bear flag. Yeah, still looking like a bear flag. Yeah, not really able to get higher than here, not able to backtest this trend line. Obviously this trend line's coming down, so it will become easier to backtest, but not breaking down either. So this is just the digestion of this move down, just sideways, drifting upwards. That's kind of what you'd expect, and then it's going to be a case of when do we take out these lows. We'll actually draw these on as well. When do we take out this low, because that will trigger more downside. And for the upside, nothing is really going to trigger a change in trend to me unless we get rejected from this level, come back down, and then take it back out again. That would indicate a potential trend in the change in the medium-term trend, but as of yet, we're not even close to that, and I'm just expecting more downside as ever, as I always talk about. The dollar is toast. Those guys, those macro analysts, I basically just personally think they're just attention-seeking macro analysts that just like to go against the obvious trade, the obvious market dynamics of dollar weakness, and try and say, oh, but dollar strength for these reasons. But they're lots of people on Twitter. They're all in marketing. They're all marketing their services, their newsletters. So they need to draw attention to themselves. And I believe that is what a lot of them do. They're just drawing attention to themselves by talking about possible dollar strength scenarios. Because clearly the case is a lot stronger, as I've outlined before, for dollar weakness. Yeah, just keep it simple, stupid. That's the thing. It's called KISS, isn't it? KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And it's not even keeping it simple, really. It's still some complex dynamics, such as that you can't have UBI in Europe, and you can in the US, and the US is an elevated world reserve currency that is under pressure, so that is clearly going to have a downward pressure on it. On its strength it has based on being a world reserve currency. They're not exactly the most simple concepts to understand, but hey, there we go. How is silver doing? Just hanging around there, not doing a lot. Bitcoin dominance though. Bitcoin dominance has got back above our level. It is getting is obviously looking a bit dicey here for the altcoins, especially on the basis we are expecting some sort of a move at some point from Bitcoin, and be it up or down in Bitcoin, it just seemed to just whack the alts. And then even the sideways trading hasn't been helping the alts recently. But if we look at this this overall move, this overall consolidation in the context of the move, it's just normal sideways consolidation after a move down, sideways drifting upwards after a move down, and we could very easily at any point just continue this trend to the downside and just break down. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But obviously as it stands, looking quite bullish. Ethereum, Bitcoin, obviously the bellwether of the Bitcoin dominance. You can see this is well, it's still just hanging around where it is, really. It's just consolidating. It's just sideways consolidating. Not much else to say. The US dollar pairing has been following Bitcoin down. So yeah, this was basically the sell level, the sell level for me, so far as obviously stopping out your longs, was about 555. So yeah, we have flirted with that level a bit. We are now basically sat around it. So yeah, this is an important level. Hold this range, and start to move up. I'd expect a test back at the top of the range, or if we do lose it properly, stay below, like we have for a while on these 4-hour charts. But yeah, basically continuation down here, and we will convolute yet another chart. Short term, obviously, trading below here will probably trigger that move down to well, about 500. So how did Tesla close? Yeah, Tesla's just hanging around at the highs. Nothing really to look at there. That is everything on there. So yeah, back to Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the stochastics, see if they are going to give us any indication as to whether we'll break back above this level, back above this 18,600 realistically. Close 4 hour candles above 18,600, then we'll see more upside. That was basically what I was saying, wasn't I? Close candles below 17,600, we'll see more downside. So other stochastics going to give as much of an indication. 4 hour has got a lot. I've got momentum to the upside here, so this is clearly looking good. 10 hour got the potential to turn back up as well, if we do get going. So 4 hour drags 10 hour up, we could see some upside, and 12 hour look like it could turn up from a low spot as well. Daily's still dumping though. I mean, everything higher is still going to be dumping, as we can see. Well, not exactly dumping, but turning down. But I would suggest the better ones to use for the sort of the time frame trading that I do and that I discuss on this channel are the 4, 10, and the 12, and then the daily. But obviously the daily is pointing down. But the 4, 10, and the 12 are looking like we could basically break back above, close back above the 18,006 and then potentially make our way back up towards the top of the range again. This would look very good in the context of an ascending triangle within this obviously range here. And yeah, could potentially look really good. We could get back up, get a pullback to basically back test 18,600, and then it could be moon boots time, basically. So yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys later on today.